Darling, forever I would trade it for your love, your joy forever.
Phone poppy, yeah, she call me Young Poppy. That's my little shawty. She get thicky in the body. She got hottie toddy when she make it wet for me. Got that body on you, girl. You know I wanna play some hide and seek. You're someone that I wanna meet. You're someone that I wanna see. You're someone that I wanna see. And I got every idea in mind to get you poppin'. She said she just wants some liquor, so just stop it. I don't pop no pills or do none of that extra. I be chillin', smoking ganja with my niggas. I got so much, so many dreams, so many things to hold up. So many things on my mind. So many things to let shine.
All right, welcome back to Unrestricted Free Agent. We took a little break for season 1. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We are back with season 2, some life changes, bought a house, some pretty cool things happening. I was coaching my high school group. We finished 23-4, regional semis, disappointed, but it's okay. It happens, it's the growth. And now we're back bringing you great stories and great content from my friends and some people you may know, may not have heard of. And today we have a special guest, a good friend of mine. He's in France right now. My boy Derric Jean, Derric Jean. We always let the guests introduce themselves first and foremost. So tell them a little bit about yourself and your accolades. And when you get tongue-tied, I have it right here.
So what's up, man? It's Derric Jean here. I'm a professional basketball player, pro for 3 years now. Started off in Bulgaria, finished off in Cyprus, but I'm currently just hanging out in France, enjoying time and vacation a little bit. But yeah, South Florida native. Been playing ball all my life practically, and connected with Ojo. What was it, Florida Rams?
Yeah.
And it's been cool ever since, man. Solid guy.
He missed all his high school stuff, but that's why we have it here. He always skips. Everybody skips to the pro. They don't even mention college. You didn't even mention college. So we're going to go all the way back. I'm going to read these off because, like I said, his list is long. So you started in basketball and track and field at MacArthur High. You were a 3-star recruit. As of Rivals and ESPN, rated the 24th best player in Florida by ESPN. You led the Mustangs to 3 straight district championships. Guided the team to the Class 8A semifinals for the first time in school history as a senior. 12 points, 5.3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1.6 steals. Led the team in assists and steals, second in points. 6 games where you scored at least 20, season high 27. First team All-Broward County, first team All-State by Source Hoops and Florida Basketball Coaches Association. Class 8A, 7A, 6A, second team All-Broward as a junior, averaging 13, 3.4 assists, 4 rebounds, 3.8 steals. Led the Mustangs to a run-up finish in the regional championship. As your sophomore, I told you the first district championship in program history. You scored 26 in the title game. You also helped the track and field team claim a district title as a senior, placed second at district and regionals in high jump, qualified for state in high jump with a leap of 6 feet 8 inches to earn second team all county as a junior. Why didn't you stick with track at all? Did you like track or was it just like?
Nah, so the funny thing about it was like, I'm a ball player, man. Born and raised, like I've been around ball all my life. And, one of the track coaches, he walked into the gym one day and like he's just watching all the guys work out, jump, dunk, run around. And he was like, yo, we need some guys just get some extra points. We're trying to win districts.
Yeah.
So, knowing me, like I have the free time. I'm always around school anyway. So I was like, why not? I think I went to one practice, just to get the technique down, just to get the distance down, whatever, for high jump. And he's like, yeah, man, just do what you could do. If you scratch, it don't matter. Like, we don't care. So I end up going to district. I think that might have been my first event. And, I'm unfamiliar with the scene, but the track events are crazy, man. Every school in the area.
I know. That's the one thing that I loved. I did the same thing as you. I went out there because they was like, yeah, come out, bro. It's fun. It was a social event more than anything.
Exactly.
I was like, nah.
So I went out there and it was just for fun. I had no idea it was going to be such a big deal. I was going to be even solid at it, So, I ended up going out there and PRing like 6'8", which I thought was like kind of normal, but everybody over there looking like they trying to start up a clap every time I start jumping because I'm going 6'4", 6'6", 6'8". They're like, yo, like, who's this guy? But me, like, whole time I just learned the technique. Like, my form is nowhere as near as good as all the other kids that's going, but I'm just jumping and everybody was loving it. So I qualified for state and shit. It worked out.
So then you go to Louisiana Tech. Freshman year, you were a 6-man coming off the bench. You played in all 33 games. You were one of the only 3 players to see action in every game. You averaged 7 points, 12 double-digit scoring games, led the team in three-point percentage, going 27 for 70, 38.6%. Second on the team in total assists. Had arguably the play of the year, the half-court buzzer beater. I actually remember that at Marshall. First buzzer beater on the team since 2012. And you made the ESPN top 10. Sophomore year, one of 3 players to start all 33 games, averaged 8 points, 14 double-digit scoring games, opened the season with 18 at South Carolina, 109 assists. One of the team's best on-ball defenders, 37 steals, average of 1.1 per game. Junior year, saw action in 32 games. Starting the last nights of the season, third on the team in scoring, 9.5 points per game, 17 double-digit scoring games, career-tying 20 points versus UTEP, anchored the squad in three-point shooting percentage, 43.9, that's tough, 50 triples, team high 35 steals, average of 1.1 per game. Senior year, 9 of the first 10 games, started 8 of them, missed 24 games, including the last 23 due to injury, 82 points for an average of 9.1 points per game, shooting 39 from the field, 36 from 3, 77 from the foul line. Then your redshirt senior year, one of 2 players to start all 30 games, 844 minutes, second most on the team, 288 points for an average of 9.6 per game, scored in double figures 16 times, leading the squad in scoring. In 3 games, 38.5 from behind the arc, second best on the team and 9th best in Conference USA. 42nd member of the 1,000-point club, reaching it against SUNO, ranked second on the squad in assists, 78. Registered 5+ in 5 games, team high 44 steals, 3+ 7 times, average of 1.5 per game, which ranked 9th in Conference USA. Finished career ranked in the top 10 in program history in total 3-pointers made, total steals, and Conference USA all-defensive team. So then you go pro. Right. And we're going to go through kind of all of them. We'll brush over them because you can talk about them a little bit more. Bulgaria, NBL, 9.5 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Vite, NM1 in France. Rouen, NM1 in France. 8 points per game, 45% from the field, 42 from 3. Cyprus, 34 minutes a game, 15.4 points, 40 from the field, 35 from 3, 2.7 assists, 6.2 rebounds, and 1.8 steals. So obviously a lot of basketball being played. First of all, how you got there. Talk about your experience in hiring an agent and finding one that worked most for you. I feel like everybody has a different story on how it happened, how they did it, and kind of what worked for them.
Man, so, some people are more lucky than others, man. So
talk about it.
Before we even get into that, I came out of college in 2020. It was COVID.
Yep.
So, a lot of options already brushed off the table. There's no NBA workouts. There's no combines and no Portsmouth. There's nothing going on at this point in time. The country shut down. And, some guys have the luxury of having one agent their whole career, and I kind of wish I was one of those guys, but man, it's a grind, so choosing the agent is kind of like college recruiting all over. Like everybody's telling you they can get you good deals, they can put you in good situations, and they're selling you gold, but the difference is like not everybody has those connections that you really need. So me coming out of college, man, I ended up signing with a big Italian agency. They had a few NBA guys, had a whole bunch of G League guys, Euro League guys, so I'm thinking like, this could be my spot. They're cool people. We FaceTime. Like, I actually broke down my list between the top 5, and I chose them. But at the end of the day, like they ended up not working out because by the time I got to Bulgaria, like I came to find out they didn't even find me that job. That coach sent me a message on Facebook Messenger.
That's crazy.
So my agent didn't even find me this job. So I get to Bulgaria, and I'm there for about 7 months. And, it's COVID, man. We don't have any fans in the stadium. I'm living in a hotel. We got 5 Americans. We all sharing one car. They get coupons to eat at certain restaurants. It's a mess, but, it's your first year. You can't expect much.
First contract,
Yeah, so I'm probably making like $1,500 a month my first year, whatever. So it was cool. It was solid. The competition was really good out there, too. But, you know, just the weather, everything, me being a Miami guy, you know, it didn't sit right with me. But, you know, I did what I could, you know, in the time being out there. But as far as the agent goes, I ended up firing him because the team threatened to call immigration on me. So I'm calling my agent. He's like, I'm going to call you tomorrow. I'm going to call you tonight. I'm calling in the morning. I'm going to call you tonight. Like for 3 days straight, he's blowing me off. So at this point, like, I'm like, yo, there's no way. Like I can get locked up in Bulgaria right now. This guy wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to fire him. And I'm going to give you a rundown, like my whole experience until now, actually. So I get to Florida. I'm in Florida for maybe 5 months. And that's when I actually start my fitness business. You know, I was able to save up some bread from college and a little bit in Bulgaria so I could start my business. I actually turned my mom's backyard into a gym.
Yep.
So I started taking on clients, and man, like it caught traction quick. I had like 15 clients, man. So at that point, like I got agents hitting up my line. They're like, yo, we could plug you in here, there, and the third. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna take my time. I don't even want to hire an agent. Like the thought of even basketball is kind of slipping my mind. Like I'm making good money being a personal trainer. Yeah. And like this guy came out of a jacked up situation in Bulgaria. In my head, I'm like, I'd rather be close to my family, my friends, you know, enjoy the States, you know, it's not a bad deal. So this one agent, he's a Greek guy, a really good guy. To this day, we still have a good relationship. He ends up telling me like, yo, I really want to sign you. I feel like I can really get you where you need to go. I'm like, you know, I'm good. He's like, you know what? Give me 2 months. I'll give you a contract right now for 2 months to sign me. If I can't get your job in 2 months, then you can fire me. So I'm like, all right, you know what? It's cool. Let's do that. I signed with the guy. Dude, 2 weeks later, he's like, yo, I got a contract in France. Do you want to go or what? And me, like, in my head, even when I was in Bulgaria, I'm like, bro, like, I belong like Western Europe. You feel me? Like, I'm not I can't be in no Slovakia. I mean, not trying to talk bad in those leagues.
No,
but,
of course.
You know, it sounds rough over there, like Slovakia, Lebanon, Croatia, like the Baltic, the Balkan area. Like, it's a tough area, you know? And after my last experience, like, I'm not even trying to go back out east. So he gets me into France. I have no idea what level the team is, what league it's in. I'm just like, the money's good because France is just a rich country. Yep. And I just take whatever deal and I go over there. And end up working out. It turns out that the Greek guy, his French partner, was a guy that didn't have a lot of connections. Like, I'm not a NM1 guy. You know, I'm a Pro B, at least Pro A type of guy. So make a long story short, end up letting go the Greek guy. And then Octagon gets in the mix. They place me here on a Pro B team that just moved down. Money was great, obviously. Had an issue with the president. End up cutting the contract, coming to Cyprus, hiring a new agent. Yeah. That's Greek also, but he also has like a lot of high-level clients as well. So I actually could see, and I have players that he signed to as well. I know players that he signed to that signed to him as well. So I was able to talk to them and really get a rundown on who this guy really is, you know. So I think that's probably the biggest part of the agency process for me.
And kind of moving along with that, so you haven't played more than one season on any individual team. So talk about the culture in overseas basketball and how hard it is to find a home and somewhere you could play for multiple seasons. That practice of just being on the move.
Right. So, you know, we kind of got that mentality, man. We chasing paper, you know, everywhere we go. We're just trying to chase the biggest bag or whatever. But, you know, it's very rare to get a 2-year, 3-year type of deal with type of clubs because, you know, they're so rapidly changing coaches. You know, some coaches are more ambitious than others. Some GMs and the coaches aren't on the same level. So if you could find a place where, you know, they trust that you're the guy that could bring them from this level to the next, or because, you know, everybody wants to move up. Even if you're the top league somewhere, they want to be like FIBA Europe Cup, Champions League, whatever. If you can find a club that has a lot of faith that you're probably the best guy that came around, you have a good attitude, you're a good locker room guy, like all that stuff adds up. And I think that could kind of push the envelope of staying in one place. But if not that, you know, you're going to find yourself from moving from east to west to South America. It don't even matter. Like, you're going to be bounced all over the place if you're not a guy that puts a good impression.
And then I know it's not a coach's job or a college coach's job to prepare you, but how much did Louisiana Tech prepare you for overseas basketball, you think?
Man, Louisiana Tech prepared me because, man, like, you know, the stat sheet might have showed like I got all these accolades, I did so well, but man, it was a ton of adversity, you know, from my freshman year to my senior year. You know, like, everybody talks about this wall that you hit, you know, but, you know, my freshman year, I played real well. I'm playing behind the player of the year. And, you know, the basis of it all is just, you know, making sure that you're staying mentally sane through it all. Yeah. Like, there's been plenty of situations where, you know, I thought I deserved more playing time, or this guy shouldn't be playing before me. Like, I was 6 man, but, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes,
So then kind of the biggest overarching theme, like you say, you've bounced around, you've gone through agents, you've gone through different clubs. How do you keep yourself mentally intact while playing overseas? Because I feel like it has to be a mental struggle, and even about like what happened in Paris with that club. And how does it feel to almost be regarded as kind of like a piece of chain that you can just kind of discard sometimes by these clubs, by these presidents, by these owners and things like that? Like that has to weigh on you mentally. So how do you keep yourself sane personally?
So for me, like, especially after my rookie year in Bulgaria, like I learned like you got to embrace where you're at. So and that doesn't mean like, just going out partying everywhere, man. Like just don't be in the house all day, go out for walks, get to know the locals, like hang out with your teammates, the locals, learn what they do. I think like not circling your whole life around basketball is what makes, the experience even more enjoyable in a way. Because there's always going to be outside factors. Like with basketball, it's a roller coaster, so it could be your coach not playing you, you're not playing well, the GM or the president wants to let you go, or it could be any outside factor, so the biggest thing is to stay grounded and have a real life outside of basketball, I think. And that's what keeps me sane while I'm out here.
And then what's the dynamic that you've seen between players and coaches, players and management, players and owners? Do the players have any power in overseas basketball? Is there any power struggle? Like, what's the dynamic that you've seen in the clubs you played at and just your experiences?
So, first of all, it depends on who you are. If you're one of the better players, obviously you're going to have more power, you're going to have more say, so things of that nature. But, typically though, like in a well-respected club, regardless of how good the players are, the power is never in their favor of the players. Like for instance, it could be, the GM or the president wants to be playing at this level, wants to win this X amount of games, and he's going to come down on the coach, and not every instance is like the coach is going to relay that stress to you guys. Like, for instance, like when I was in Rouen, the president puts a shit ton of pressure on the coach, and you kind of see the stress on the coach because like he won the championship in the league last year for another team and everything. But like he does a good job of not relaying that to us too. He just makes us stick to the plan. He doesn't stress us out. He just makes sure we play well and we win games that way. Where in other cases, it's like you'll find the president or GM in the locker room cursing guys out. You don't never see them until it's game time. Like until you're playing bad, you lose 2-3 in a row. Then the president's in your locker room like, yo, like this is what we do for y'all. And I can send all you guys home. Like I've gotten those threats before though, like it can vary, it depends on who you're working with and who you are, obviously. But the power dynamic is definitely the president first. And it's up to the coaches to be able to manage the stress of wanting to win games, cut players and so forth,
So do you think players have any control over their own situation?
And yes. So contract's a contract. It's binding. Yep. So one thing I suggest all players have, and it's probably kind of off topic, you have to have your own lawyer. Outside of your agent, because your agent, his intent, his reasons for placing you there are different from your reasons for wanting to be there. So in that aspect, I would say like the players they're in a binding contract. Like if you're supposed to get paid 10 months out the year, they can't be like, oh, we're gonna pay you 8, whatever. Like you can stand on that, So in that aspect of things, when you sign that contract, I feel like the players do have the power of saying like, yo, like I'm entitled to this amount of money, or if I don't feel good, I don't have to play. Like you can get second and third opinions from other doctors outside the team. Yep. So the players do have a say so in that aspect though, yeah.
So, and you kind of touched on it a little bit before, and even with the lawyer kind of goes into this, but financial literacy. So how do you feel? Well, first off, what are the tactics you use to manage your money in terms of making sure you're good in between contracts? Because there's periods of time where, like you said, you might go 2 weeks between a contract. You might go 3 months. You might go 6 months. You might go a year between a contract. So was there anybody telling you? Did you have to learn on your own? How did you kind of learn to manage your money as you grow into your professional career?
So man, like, you probably don't know as much about me, but man, like I'm the youngest of 5, man. My parents, my dad didn't work for a while. My mom was making like 17 bands a year, growing up. So, being frugal is like in my blood, So, having that, that background, and actually going to college and learning how to live paycheck to paycheck, because when you move off campus, they give you X amount of money to manage that already. But even in Bulgaria, so I'm a type of guy. I'll probably spend like $300, $400 a month, regardless of how much money I make, just on groceries, on snacks, gas, whatever, rent, whatever I need to do. But so and I'm a big vacation guy.
Yeah.
Recently, though,
yes, sir.
Come recently, so I definitely put away money just so I could take care of myself in the summer and then live the life I want. Because basketball is one thing, but life outside of basketball is a big part too. Yeah,
and I know you read it, but how has basketball led you to create the life that you want for yourself? Like how has basketball led you to take the steps to create the life you want for yourself? Because we all know the ball starts bouncing.
Right.
We all know when you look back at your career, you want to say that you got closer to the ultimate goal, which is different for everybody. But so how has basketball kind of helped you and equipped you to get there, or get closer at least?
So, the dream for me, man, like if I was not playing basketball, I would want to be traveling the world to eat food and be a food critic or something, So,
yes,
so even this right now, like, so, this don't even feel like a job to me, like I play ball in my free time, but, basketball is definitely, kind of gave me a jump start to this, being able to see different parts of the world, part of the States, before I was, 17 years old. So just that aspect of just wanting to travel, meet new people, learn new cultures, speak new languages, man. Like, shoot, just recently, man, I'm trying to learn Spanish all over again.
Yeah.
So I've been speaking English, French, Creole, and, learning Spanish all over again. So, basketball definitely helped me touch different parts of the world and learn more about myself, my wants and needs and in that aspect too.
That's real. So then we're going into the question game, Family Feud style. Answer these as if we surveyed a bunch of people, bunch of hoopers. Think about what they would say. Think about your own answer. First question, my favorite question: who's the coldest player you played, and how much did they give you?
Man. So I'm gonna tell you a little background on this guy first. So he's a Florida guy. He's I want to say he's like Orlando area. He had a little bit of hype. I think he went to FAU first. And I remember watching him. I'm like, yeah, he's not that good, and then he goes JUCO, ends up going to Ole Miss.
Oh, freak. Oh, I think we was just talking about him the other day, bro.
And then this dude that same year ends up leading the country in scoring. I think he was averaging like, 24 or 25 a game.
Oh, yeah. It was like 25.6.
Freshman year, me, I'm a guy, I pride myself on defense, like if you can get a buck on me, if you score 15 on me, I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. He's tough. In a 40-minute game, I'm talking.
Yeah.
So, we play Ole Miss, and we're playing against Stephon Moody. Everybody's like, yeah, he's leading the country, and he's tough, this, that, and the third. The guy's like 5'8", bro. So I'm about to lock it up. I don't know who been playing against. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who this dude been playing against. He's been frying everybody, but he ain't about to go crazy against us. So, that's my assignment. When I'm in the game, I'm guarding Moody. And, the game is 40 minutes. We play 20 minutes, man. We look up at the scoreboard. This dude got his average already. But it's a mix of just fast breaks, pull-up trays. Like, it's eloquent, man. It's almost like he's not even trying. I'm like, bro, like, am I good enough? That's what I thought. It's in the non-conference. I'm like, bro, like, in my head, I'm a high-level basketball player. This guy described me like I was a kid. Like, I didn't belong here. You feel me? So that was for sure an eye-opening experience. And
what did he finish with?
Bro, I think he finished with like 32. He cooled off a little bit. 12 points in the second half isn't cooling off, but
yeah.
24, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, but nah, that dude, he went crazy, man.
And then the coldest player you've seen with your own eyes, counting overseas, everything like that. So that doesn't mean you have to play against them.
Coldest player I've seen with my two eyes. So I remember it was a Southern Stampede. That's the EYBL team, right? Georgia Southern Stampede. Yeah, it was them versus Alabama Challenge. I was watching them in like a peach invitation.
Yeah.
It was in Georgia. And what's his name? Lance Tejada was actually playing on the Stampede team.
Yeah.
I was there watching him, supporting him, obviously. And there's this light-skinned cat, just smooth as hell, just going to work. And everybody's hyping him up. I'm like, he's cool and all. But, that's Devin Booker. You
Oh,
don't
freak.
understand. Yo, I'm telling you, Stephon was eloquent, but him is like going through the motions. Like,
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
a rhythm player. That just looks different.
yeah, you know how they say don't play cool? He was definitely like the opposite of that. He didn't look like he was breaking a sweat. That's giving bucks, clean ones, contested ones. It wasn't even an issue for him. So
My homie used to see him when he played. I think it was Moss Point or whatever. And he said the same thing. He was like, he was the best player he's seen play with his two eyes. Even in high school, he was like, "Yo, bro, it was insane. It was different."
one guy's dirty.
Yeah, and now you see and you like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. What's the hardest adjustment you think in playing overseas? Is it the food? Is it the culture? Is it the language? Is it the time difference? Because you're battling a lot of things. So which one do you think, if you had to choose one, that's the hardest adjustment?
You know, it might be different for a lot of people, but for me, man, it's just the time difference, I would say.
Yeah.
Because shoot, like my first year going to Bulgaria, dog, I think I want to say they're 7 hours ahead.
Yeah, that's tough.
Bro, for 2 months, I had jet lag, bro. Couldn't sleep, like tired as hell. Like I'd say I'd probably sleep for like 2 or 3 hours and work out 2 times a day, like hard. So I think the time difference, like not being able to sleep, not being able to talk to my friends and family.
Yeah, people don't factor that in, bro. You might land in a place and you don't even feel like okay until like 3 weeks in, bro. Like think about that. But you probably start playing immediately.
Bro,
but you don't even feel like
yo, off the flight, one practice, them boys threw me in a game. You know?
That's what I'm saying though. Like people don't get that. Like you out the gate immediately. Like you don't get time to just let me see how I feel and let me adjust to the bro. Like
none of that. They kind of look at you as property out there, man. So you sign them lines, you touch down in that country, bro. Like they working
straight to work.
Around.
Straight to work.
You know,
So then if you had to, and you're speaking to your offensive game, if you had to tell a coach how to utilize you in the offense, how would you tell them what to run, what actions you like? So talk a coach through playing you to the best of your ability. What would it sound like?
First of all, man, like if you're a coach that likes to run it up, that's me. You know, like I love playing a transition, getting down the lane, finding teammates, finishing at the basket. But in a half court setting, man, like it's simple for me, man. I could come off down screens, I could play in the pick and roll, find teammates, pick apart defenses. You know, it's I feel like I'm a jack of all trades, but playing in the pick and roll and transition is probably my bread and butter.
So you want a team who would play fast. You would tell a team you gotta up and down, push and transition.
For sure. Throw alley-oops, play fun.
Is there a favorite action you like? Like is it horns action? Is it pinch post? Is it handoffs?
I would say it's just a side pick
Eyeball
and roll,
screen?
man. It's a side pick and roll, give you some space to pull up or break somebody down. You know, it's cool.
We call them the late in the shot clock hoopers, the 10 below. 10 below, don't call nothing. Just give me the ball. This is where I got it. Don't even worry about nothing.
Make something happen. You feel me?
When you're in a slump or you aren't performing well, is it easier to look inwards at yourself, like and kind of internalize it, or do you look outwards at the situations? Like, okay, might not be playing well, but this happens, or is there always like, nah, that's on me. Like I gotta be better.
Nah, for me personally, man, I always look inward, man.
Yeah.
And you know, as soon as you ask me that question, like a quote kind of pops up in my head. And Nipsey Hussle actually said it, man. Let me try to figure this thing out. It was like it goes, a reasonable man adapts himself to the world, and the unreasonable one persists on trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. And shoot, man, it just goes to show, like, you know, you can't control everything. If you try to control everything, that's how you kind of wreck out, start going, you know, losing your mind, start, you know, tweaking out. But for me, just staying, you know, steady, even pill, and, you know, just figuring out, it's all a mental thing for me. You know, so I just think of, you know, I've been playing basketball all my life.
Yep.
You know, there's ups and downs to this. You know, it's a roller coaster. Like the best athletes in the world have these same issues that we have, you know, rather it be overseas or in the NBA. So, you know, I kind of like not blame coach for whatever. I just kind of try to figure out what I could do and live with those results.
That's real. What are your major hobbies outside of basketball?
You know, like I said before, man, I love eating. So whenever I get the time, I'm looking up on Google the 4-star, 5-star places, like even on TikTok.
Bro, I just had the most fire. There's this place by me, and they do like pop-ups with like all these famous chefs and stuff like that all the time.
Uh-huh.
They had a Wagyu biscuit like sandwich. Bro.
Come on now.
Bro.
Come on now.
Bro, it was so good, dog. I bought 3 of them things, man. I bought 3 of them things, dog. I'm over here smacking 3 of them joints, bro.
Yeah.
Good Eats, I got an unlimited budget. I don't care how down I am, bro. For Good Eats,
For
I got
sure.
an unlimited budget.
I will not hesitate for good food, man. But food, I would say traveling, sightseeing. I'm big on fashion, so I'll buy clothes in the local area if it's fire, you know.
Yeah.
Just finding a way to. I'll go to a walk in the park if I have to, man. Like I like just being outside and just learning more about where I'm at. Like I said, you know, just learning new cultures, things like that.
And then what's next for you? And obviously thinking super far ahead, but what's next for you in terms of where do you want your career to go from here? Where do you want it to go after basketball, the whole 9 yards? What do you have next planned for yourself?
So, you know, my plans is just to, you know, save as much money as possible. Like, you know, I might slow down the vacation just a little bit just so I could have more investments in different places. But, you know, for me, I just want to, you know, stay in the top leagues for one,
Mm-hmm.
you know, start having some passive income coming on back at home, like do different investments, things of that nature. And shoot, man, just enjoying the ride for real. I don't think too far ahead like that. I just kind of take it as it comes.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. But anyways, man, we appreciate you for coming on. There's a big part that I forgot to mention. We're both wearing the same brand from my brother LT. So I got the Runway hoodie on. He got the Tri-County shirt. Shout out to your local creators and support your local friends making clothes and stuff like that, man. We love to see it. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to season 2, Unrestricted Free Agent Podcast. Please follow us on all the socials. I didn't forget. Don't worry about it. I didn't forget. Follow us on Instagram, unrestrictedFA_pod, on Twitter, unrestrictedFA1. We appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we have our outro segment. We always either do a call to action or something like that. But we wanted to kind of tell you about this event that's been on our minds and hearts, and the need that we see that we kind of wanted to fill. So we've been kind of wanting to do an elite camp, kind of like a program, kind of like an academy. And the way we were thinking about it was a way to serve the kids who are serious about basketball, giving them something affordable, but also treating them as if they were professional and teaching them to be on the same level as professionals. So most camps and things that you do, you see, and they do nothing but skill work, and they play a lot of games in 5-on-5. But I feel like from all the professionals I've seen and the athletes that have come through and out of South Florida, it's the other stuff that we don't really prioritize that we should. So the mental aspect, as I talked about, the financial aspect, taking care of your body, the things you're doing in the off season, the way you're preparing for games, the way you're preparing and analyzing your own film. So all these things that we kind of wanted to incorporate, and have it to kind of be start off as, you know, an open event, and then have it be selective. You know, the kids, and not just the kids who have a chance, but I think everybody does deserve and has a chance. But the kids who, like I said, they care about their craft. They're trying to play and excel at the highest level, and they're ready to put the work in. 'Cause that's the biggest thing. I mean, this game doesn't owe anybody anything. And as I always say, this game's a truth teller. Basketball is going to always tell the truth. So the work you don't put in, you can't expect those rewards. But you can elaborate more on that. I know we're kind of coordinating on the details and the events.
Right. So yeah, just like you said, man, the camp is supposed to be like a kind of more detailed aspect of like being a professional or being a high level Division I basketball player. You know, it's not just going through cones and putting up a ton of shots. It's about actually reading the game, you know, offensively and defensively, you know, dissecting every single aspect of it. So like when you get to that level, you're not surprised. And who knows, like as a young guy coming out, you know, for trying to get to a Division I school, like you knowing about help side and getting gaps could put you ahead of guys that are already there and still struggle with those aspects, you know. So, you know, just that part of it, just I think will be beneficial to guys coming out of South Florida, especially because we don't have much of those avenues to learn more about, you know.
And I'll give a good kind of story to tag along with that. So me and my coach, Coach T, we were playing, and we run a college-style program even in high school, and we were playing against a 4-star. I'm not going to say his name. It's not even important. But we were playing against a 4-star, and what we do is we ice ball screens, which is a high-level action. I didn't know about icing in high school. Like, it wasn't something that I was aware of, you know what I'm saying? But we were going through and we were icing ball screens, and the player had no idea. Like, he had – and it's not his fault. Like, it's not like – you know, that he's supposed to know or anything like that, but he had no idea what we were doing. And it made him look bad. Like if somebody was to come watch the game, they would be like, dang, like how did he not? And it kind of dawned on us. We were like, wow, these kids aren't, and this kid's no matter what, he's going to play high level basketball, like at whatever capacity. But we were just thinking about what kind of leg up they would have if they knew, basketball actions. Okay, so most professionals, they run multiple things. They run a lot of horns action. They run a lot of pinch posts. They run a lot of things like that. But getting familiar, because they'll go to these programs where, they'll just sit in a zone. They'll just, they'll have one motion offense. And again, it's not the coach's fault, but it does them a disservice because they're not getting ready for basketball at the higher level, whether in college or whether in the professionals. And so that's kind of what this camp is going to be about, to where they're just being introduced to more high-level basketball, high-level thinking, high-level reads, being able to read through situations and play through situations and things like that. So we're super excited for it. Details definitely to follow. Any final thoughts, any good graces, well wishes, any advice to the next generation you want to leave them with?
First off, shout out my man LT again, Terrence Butts, man, longtime childhood friend. And some advice for the young boys, man, just stay in the gym. Never stop learning about basketball, man. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's guys at the pro level, college, high school that need information, or sometimes forget information. So, a camp could be beneficial to all ages, all groups. The levels there, the talent's always there, but, learning more about the game definitely goes a far way.
Yes, sir. Once again, appreciate you for coming on, man, chatting with us, bro. Best of luck. I know I'll be looking forward. I hope to travel with you this summer, but you might be busy, so we'll see. But either way, man, stay blessed and have fun out there, my boy. Good talking to you.
Always. Peace.